There's a moment most people don't notice when it happens. It's not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It starts quietly, with a message left unopened, a call you let ring just a little too long, a plan you tell yourself you'll confirm later, and later never comes. From the outside, it looks like disappearing. From the inside, it feels like slowly running out of air. There was a time when this person didn't disappear. They replied quickly, they showed up, they listened, they remembered birthdays, checked in, stayed present. They were reliable. And maybe that's why no one notices the weight building up inside them, because they've always handled things, because they've always been fine, until one day they aren't. It doesn't happen because of one big disaster. It's the small things stacking on top of each other. Work pressure that never really ends. Family expectations that don't come with instructions. A quiet disappointment they never talked about. A tiredness that sleep doesn't fix. And still, they keep going. They smile, they nod, they say, "I'm okay." But something inside them starts to pull inward. The first thing they lose is their voice. Not literally, but emotionally. Explaining how they feel starts to feel impossible, because how do you explain something you don't fully understand yourself? So when someone asks, "What's wrong?" they don't know where to begin, because it's not one thing, it's everything, and nothing all at once. That's usually when the disappearing starts. Not because they don't care, not because they're angry, not because they want attention, but because interaction begins to feel heavy. Even kind messages feel like tasks, even friendly check-ins feel like responsibilities, and the guilt of not replying starts fighting with the exhaustion of replying. Exhaustion wins. They tell themselves it's temporary. "I'll respond tomorrow. I just need a few days, once things calm down." But life rarely calms down on schedule. So the silence stretches. And with every passing day, it becomes harder to come back, because now returning requires explanations. And explanations require energy they still don't have. Here's the part people misunderstand. When someone disappears, they're not resting in peace. They're often restless. They think about the messages they haven't answered, the people they might be hurting, the version of themselves they wish they could be right now. They're not ignoring life. They're trying to survive it quietly. Some people disappear because they've always been the strong one, the listener, the helper, the person who shows up even when they're tired. They don't know how to need help without feeling like they're failing. So when life overwhelms them, they retreat. Not because they don't need support, but because they don't know how to receive it without guilt. Others disappear because they've learned that talking doesn't always make things better. Maybe they tried before. Maybe they were misunderstood. Maybe they felt judged for feeling too much or not enough. So now, silence feels safer. At least in silence, no one can twist their words or minimize their pain.
Some people disappear because they don't want to be seen in their mess. They don't want to be asked questions they don't have answers to. They don't want to hear advice when all they need is time. They don't want to be the sad version of themselves. So they wait. They wait until they can show up as someone they recognize again. And some people disappear simply because the world feels too loud, too many opinions, too many expectations, too much access. Everyone wants something, a reply, an update, a reaction. disappearing becomes the only way to lower the volume. Here's what no one tells you. Disappearing isn't the absence of love. Often, it's love turned inward. It's someone saying, even if they don't have the words for it, I need to take care of myself before I can be present for anyone else. And that's not selfish. That's human. But the hardest part comes later, when they start to feel a little better, when the fog lifts just enough for them to look back. That's when the fear hits. What if they're upset? What if they think I don't care? What if it's too late to come back? So they hesitate. They draft messages and delete them. They rehearse apologies they're not sure they owe. They wonder how to explain something that felt necessary at the time. Sometimes that hesitation keeps them silent longer than they ever intended. And still, most of them come back. Not dramatically, not loudly. They come back a little changed, quieter, more careful, more aware of their limits. They may not explain everything, but they show up differently now. If you are someone who disappears when life gets overwhelming, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not broken. You didn't fail at being a friend, a partner, or a human being. You reached your limit and you listened to it. That matters. But it's also okay to learn gentler ways to disappear, ways that protect you without completely cutting yourself off. A simple sentence, a small boundary, a quiet honesty.
You don't owe the world your constant availability. And if you love someone who disappears, this part is for you. Try not to measure their silence as rejection. Sometimes silence is where healing happens. Sometimes space is not distance, it's recovery. Your patience may be doing more than you realize. Life doesn't come in manageable portions. Sometimes it hits all at once. And when it does, some people cry, some people talk, some people break, and some people disappear. Not forever, just long enough to find themselves again. So if someone went quiet, or if you're the one who went quiet, remember this: disappearing is not the end of connection. Sometimes it's the pause that keeps it alive. If this story felt familiar, you're not alone. And if you're finding your way back, take your time. You're allowed to return slowly.